Okay, so now we're at the point where we can start to see how the handle might fit. Now, at this point, we need to keep checking that the diameter fits the hole. So, you know, the process is that you carve the hole out first, then we start to shape the post to fit the hole. At this point, you need to keep checking that you're not going to go over. And to do this, you know, we simply shave away a bit, the thumb pressing against the back of the blade, so that we only shave away in a controlled manner. Okay, so we go all along the post, shaving away. And keep checking that against the hole, making sure that the orientation is the same. In this case, this is forward, that's forward, and we feel for it. Okay, it's there. You can hold, and we are about 3 mil deep. Now at this point, so we get this part to fit. Of course, we need to have the whole shank to fit. So we need to look down, and then we can see directly onto the plan that there's a bulge here and there. So then we need to shape down all along, so we end up with a bit of a crown flaring upwards. The wood chips to come. Okay, then we just put the knife and rock it back and forwards, and there we have it. So you keep checking, fore and aft. There we are, getting deeper, you see. So proceed along. So now we have roughly the same diameter of the shape that the post is taking with the hole. And so we just need to make sure that we just take any of the belly off. And just rock that blade back and forth a bit. So this is a process of constant checking. And you know, it's getting deeper, nearly there. In fact, a bit of force, it'll be fully there. But the orientation isn't quite right. And so a bit of twisting, yeah, there it is, back and forwards, and there it is, ready to go. The next step is to bind the handle onto the wood with thonging or some other material of your preference. Now, at this point, if you've got a bit of angst creep in, i.e. a bit of anxiety that you know, some obese, overweight person might borrow the stick and therefore might snap it, well, then we can reinforce it, putting a bit of an angle iron in there and here, and the same for in the front. Screw it in and it'll take anything. So here we are, there it is. That's enough to hold someone hobbling, you know, so that here I am. And there you have it. That's the simplicity of it all. Now, a bit of glue won't go astray. But I say with just the leather wrapping, crossing over and so on, this will be a very strong and durable item. The angle iron, of course, gives that extra support should you think it's necessary. Now, of course, in case of emergency, you're out and about in the forest, what have you, turn an ankle, or worse, break it. You can just take a length of wood from a tree in that forest or that scrub and cut the size and quickly carve the post and the hole. Wrap it with thonging. I always carry thonging in my pack, or tear a t-shirt into strips and tie it off, wrap it off with that. It'll help you get through the journey to either home or some place where you can be attended to. Now, of course, a simple version of this would be taking a stick and like a ski pole, you wrap some twine or some thonging around, leave a loop, shove your hand through the loop so that the pressure on the stick is and your weight is supported by thonging around your wrist. Now, that's all wonderful if it poles up here, but there's this undue tension and stresses on the wrist forearm. So nothing beats having a support where you can bear your weight down with the palm of your hand taking the pressure. Then you're able to put some weight on. Also, for the purpose of a walking stick, for someone who needs to have their balance or their weight distributed with an aid such as a stick, then we put a rubber plug on the back of this, or the base. If you want to go and do a bit of bushwalking or mountaineering, that type of thing, you can always put a sleeve with a spike on it, and you can need to change them. So there we go. Yes, hi again, people. So now we're at the stage where we have made the post, the liam, shaped it to fit into the Odin. Now, here you can see that I have carved a recess, as you can see, it's like countersinking, to take a bracket as a reinforcer, like a structural engineering piece, that will go like so. You see? Fits in. And the handle will sit on top. It'll be braced. having carved the handle as we did in the previous little segment. So we've got the finger grooves for the hand. Okay, now there's the hole, the yoni. Now here again I've just carved out a recess for that angle iron. So fit it like so. Put a bit of glue in there. Then lining up that section, you can now place the angle iron. So the angle iron goes in here. Let's just move this handle around and it pops in, and then we'll screw the jolly bits together. Right. Okay, so here we are. The handle has been glued onto the post, and the brackets, or the bracket angle iron, has been screwed onto the handle and staff length. So now here you can see the angle iron's been recessed, and then the next stage will be to leather wrap it. So another fine carving tool is the old trusty Swiss Army knife. They used to be only red, and these days one can get other colours, and blue is always a fine colour in my book. Even monogrammed, isn't that great? They're a great overall tool, very fine sharp blade, and as good as any edged blade for carving, chiseling, really. There we go. Okay, so here are some stones that I use in my craft. These are cubic zirconium as well as an amethyst. What I'll be doing is inserting one of these cubic zirconia, which is a man-made diamond, into the walking stick, like a bit of sparkle to lead the way. Now, to do this, to make it fast for the demonstration and what have you, I'll just use a bit, which is a countersink tip, to then drill an appropriate So you can see, you know, I'm going through the centre of the oak branch here, and the heartwood is always very, very hard. That's about an appropriate cabin for the stone to be set into. So it should look really good by the time we get all this sorted. Now of course I could use a whittling knife and do this, but as you can see through this demonstration that the heartwood is hard on a hard species of wood, and so there's no harm in using modern technology whenever the need is called for. It saves a lot of time and effort, really. So hi again. Now in terms of walking tips with the staffs that I'm making, or walking sticks, walking canes, generally it's for people who need an assistance in their walk. Okay, so for everyday use around the suburbs or in the cities on relatively even surface or even slippery surfaces such as in corridors and the like, then a rubber stopper tip is what's required. So there's no skid, there's no slip, and there's a secure grasp and contact on the stick and contact with the ground. So we slip that on, and I do that of course at the end of the project when it's been varnished. However, these are interchangeable with metal spike boot, and that is when walking in undulating terrain, up or down slopes of various gradients, then the old European tradition is to have a stirrup, cup and a spike. So they fit the same general width of a cane or a walking stick, or you get them made, or you make them yourself to suit. Now this is my father's old stick from Switzerland when he took me camping and walking in the Alps as a youngster. Of course, the traditional way often was to steam bend an end of the branch into the classic walking stick handle. So there you have it. Now you can see, still got the knots from the side twigs. All right, here we go.